So I'm going to take a few questions, but obviously I want to turn this over to Jeremy. It's really important for him. It's a big day for the Boston Bruins and for Jeremy to be celebrating and moving forward, and we're excited that he'll be on the plane today. So I'll take a couple questions and then turn it over.
You've negotiated a lot of big money, several big money deals. Was this the most difficult negotiation you've dealt with?
I mean, Pastas went for a long period of time as well. I think I've been pretty consistent in saying that every deal has its own timeline. There's twists, turns, and such. You'd hope they'd be a straight and narrow path, but it just doesn't always work out that way. And you have to be respectful of and listen. I think that's part of this whole exercise of going through negotiations. You have to be willing to listen to what's important for the other party. And ultimately, our plan was to negotiate a deal, and in a perfect world, we both agreed that the longest deal we could find once we got to common ground was what we were hoping for, and that's where it ended up.
What kind of impacts did Monday have with Cam's comments and that Lewis's response?
I mean, Jeremy might comment further, but for me, that's just an indication of both sides would like to find a deal, and ultimately we did. I don't think it necessarily moved things, because we had deadlines anyway, from a standpoint of we wanted Jeremy in our lineup, and he wants to play hockey. Ultimately, he wanted to play for the Boston Bruins, and that's the result. So, we're happy moving forward, and we got some roster stuff we have to do as a result of that. Yesterday, I had some cap space. Today, I don't have as much. So we unfortunately have to make some really hard roster decisions, but that's part of the business too.
How important was it to get it done before 5 o'clock Monday, where the money would go up?
Yeah, I mean, there's an offset. Jeremy's goes down, ours goes up, so it's a good compromise to be in the position we are today, to be perfectly honest with you. And that was what our hope was all along. I think I was pretty honest that the team was being hurt, and he himself not without preparation and such. Now we're fortunate that he does work hard, and he'll be in a good spot to go in and support Jonas for opening night, and then he and Bob will decide when he feels comfortable. But it won't be for lack of effort on his part in preparation to be as ready as he can be as soon as point.
Don, if I can drill down on Scott's question a little bit. Cam's comments were around 11:30 on Monday, and by 6 o'clock or so, the representative was saying, put out publicly, that the $64 million offer was never made. So can you clear up what is a discrepancy here? Misunderstanding, mischaracterization? What was it?
I just think in the spirit of negotiations, there's a range of things when people are talking, and I think Lewis and I's communication, and he's really good at advocating for his client, and when pushback comes, he's defending his client in that sense. Specifics, albeit in our conversations, are important. In the exterior and the narrative, they're not as important. Just got to make sure you stay in communication and work through some of those sticky points.
I may agree with that or not, but he said specifically the $64 million offer was never made. Do you care to respond to that?
No, not really. I think I have responded to answer your question, and I feel very comfortable in terms of where our communication was all along. As I said, narrative is narrative, and that's all I have.
So you don't expect Jeremy will start on Tuesday then?
No. I mean, game reps are game reps, and preseason is there for a reason. To go through some progressions. But as I said, he works hard. He'll be ready to go, hopefully at the soonest point possible. But he and goalie Bob will have some work to do, and we're all excited to have him back in the net. So I will turn it over